Dear all, welcome to the lesson number 3 in this series of Learning SQL Account. If you remember, we get two previous lessons. First was how to create the database in the SQL, how to create the company profile. Then we start learning how to, and also we learn how to maintain the items, how to maintain the stock, how to maintain customer, how to maintain supplier. Also, in the second lesson, we learn how to do the opening balance and how to do the bank reconciliation. So now we're gonna to start to do some transactions. I want just to give you one information about the SQL. SQL is not just a system to record your financial transaction, but also it's gonna to help you to do some documentation. As example, for this lesson, we're gonna to talk about the purchase. Okay, so in normal accounting transaction, when we talk about the purchase, normally we just record when the transaction happened, when we receive the product. Then we're gonna to record in the system that we already received this product, is added to our stock, and we're gonna to either pay cash to the supplier, then we can record that a cash transaction, or we will put it on the credit. Also, we're gonna to record as financial transaction. But SQL here also giving us one more option, is to record our purchase order. Here also we can follow our orders using the SQL system. So the lesson number 3, we're gonna to talk about the purchase. So we're gonna to learn how to do the purchase order, how we do the purchase goods received. This is after we issue the order to we send the order to the supplier. When you receive the products, we're gonna to add it to our stock. We're gonna to receive it, and also gonna to learn how to issue purchase invoice. So today, or this video, is related to issuing purchase order. So as you know, this is the window, or this is the screen of the system when we are opening it. I'm still using same database. I'm still using the same sequence of the things which we started from the first video. So please kindly work with me and proceed with the same sequence of videos. As we mentioned in this lesson, we're gonna to learn about the purchase. So what we can do here, we need to create the purchase order. So let's see what is our first task. First task is issue the following purchase orders. We have 3 purchase orders from our suppliers with different dates and different items. So let's start with the first purchase order. So from purchase order, where we go, we see purchase. We have a purchase order. You see, purchase order. Here some will ask me, what does purchase request and what is purchase order? Purchase request, in case here we have many departments are using the SQL system. So we are the decision makers to proceed to send the purchase order to the supplier. But also other departments, maybe they will ask us that they are in need for some items, so they're gonna to issue purchase request. Let's say that here the financial department, the finance department is the department is responsible to send orders for the suppliers. Or let's say we have a specific department, which is the purchase department, who is responsible to send the order for suppliers using this system. But other departments, as let's say the HR department or like a manufacturing department, they are in need for some items. So they're gonna to use what we call it purchase request. They're gonna to request internally from the purchasing department to purchase some items. Here we are moving directly for the purchase order, because this is the things which is managed by the finance people. So we go to the purchase order, because our first task is to issue the following purchase orders. Let's see, the first purchase order is from Deluxe supplier. We have printer HP 1020 and on-site charges. If you remember, in the first class or the first lesson, we already maintained those items, so our system already can recognize those items. So again, where we go to the purchase, we go to purchase order. As usual, we have to press new. So first we need to choose, we are gonna to take or to request this purchase order from our supplier. So the supplier is Deluxe, supplier is DMPHD. So Deluxe supplier is DMPHD, and directly you will see his address, his name, even the agent. This supplier has no agent. Even the agent, if it's assigned, it's gonna to be recorded here. The date. First, let's see this tab, which is the purchase order number. It's better to you don't modify the number. Just give the system to do the auto numbering. Some people will ask me, but when we were doing the opening balance, we modify the number. Yes, because when we are doing the opening balance, we are using the previous numbers just for our records. But for this year, because this purchase order is related to this year, so for this year, we would like to ask the system to auto-generate the numbers. So number we don't modify, we go for the date. Date is 2nd February. Here the XX is a year, and if you remember our financial period in our example is 2017. So we're gonna to put 2nd February 2017. Then we don't modify any of these things. Here we need to add the items. This is our purchase order window. Here we need to put the items. How? We need to press this, the red plus. So after you open the purchase order, you need to choose, do you want to do this purchase order from which supplier? Please don't modify the number. Make it, let it to be auto-generated. The system will gonna to auto-generate the number. Then the date modify, as our example is 2nd of February 20XX in the example. It means our current year, which is 2017. Then we need to start adding those items, where we go to this red cross. When we press here, you see one line has been generated here. Item code. We don't have the item code in the example. We have the item number, printer HP 1020. So if you press here, you can find. This is the printer, which is HP Laser 1020. Here you're gonna to ask me. Here we have only 3 items, so it's very easy to find. What if we have 1,000 items and we don't have the code? What we can do? Because sometimes the code may be number, maybe some short terms, short code. You cannot like memorize all of it. So you need just to type the name. HB, you see, is not showing anything. Why? Because I don't know whether is clear somehow in your screen that this column, it's somehow different color than other columns. You see, it somehow is going to yellow color. If I press tab, the yellow color gonna to move to the description. If I press another tab, it's gonna to go to description too. Another tab will go to quantity. Another tab is gonna again to go to the code. So what does this yellow color mean? It means when I'm typing here, it's gonna to search in the column which is in the yellow color, which is here the code. Okay, but let's see if I go to the second tab. Okay, and here I want to search. I put HB, so it's gonna to find it for me. Okay, here the code and description is similar, but you will get some other examples, or maybe in the real usage, that your code is different than the description. So you need to search, and you need to be able to know how to move from one column to another column in the search. So it's just by pressing tab, you know, the tab button in your keyboard, to be able to move from one column in the search to another column. So we need to add this item. We go to our example. The first is printer HP 1020. How many units? 10 units. So we need to modify the quantity to 10. Is 10 unit price? It's 300. There is no discount or something. Then we continue. Then plus to add another row, because this purchase order has 2 items. The second item is on-site charges. We press. We can choose the on-site charges. Then we choose a quantity is 1 piece. Sorry, 1 time. Then we have the price is 100 minus 5%. This one, we don't put it under the unit price. Unit price is 100. But this minus 5%, it means we are requesting a discount from the supplier. So here we try to find any column we can do discount, we don't see. So we need to add column for the discount. How? Can you see here we have like here, if you see there's some dots, when you bring your arrow, you find click here to show hide or move columns. So again, for the second item in this purchase order, the unit price is 100 minus 5%. This 5%, it means a discount. If this discount is not directly, we can put it in the column of the price. We have to put it in the column of discount. You will ask me how purchase order has discount. This is we are trying to request the supplier to provide us a discount, okay? So how would we add the discount column? You can see here we have those dots. When you bring your arrow and press, here all the possibilities of columns you can add to your purchase order. We can find here DISC, which is the discount. When you press, you can find the discount column has been added. If you press like this, it's removed. So this is a discount column has been added. We need to put 5%. I want also to give you one more information. In our example here is written 5%. So let's say if they write only 5, not 5%, is it same? I will tell you no, it's not. Because 5%, it means 5% from the amount. But when I just write 5, it means 5 currency unit. That's 5 ringgit or $5, okay? So don't mistakenly type only 5, because like this it will be taken as wrong answer in the exam, because also it's going to give wrong total amount. So be careful about this. Here, this 5% is going to be same if you put 5 or 5% because the amount is 100. But when we are is different amount and we put only 5, so the total amount will be wrong. So be careful what information you are writing here. So this is our purchase order. It get the items is from our deluxe suppliers DMPHD in 2nd of February 2016. Those two items, the quantity is 10 pieces from first item, 1 piece from second item. The prices as we have in the reference price, and we just add a discount and we learn how to add the discount column, then we press save. So this is the first purchase order have been done. Let's go to the second purchase order. We have is from Lian Huat. We have a Logitech mouse, a Logitech keyboard. But here we have one extra information. He's telling us that Logitech keyboard is a new product. It means we didn't tell the system earlier about this product. It means we didn't add this product to the system. So we need first to add the product to the system. Second, we create the purchase order. How to add the product to the system? It's going back to our first lesson, which is maintaining a stock item. How to maintain the stock item? We need to close this one after we save. Be careful, never close without saving. Otherwise, you're gonna lose what you have done. Then we close, we go to the stock to maintain stock item. As I mentioned in our example here, this item is a new item. So we need to add it to the system from where, as we learned in the second lesson, is from stock, maintain stock item. We have those 3 items. We're going to add a new item. The item code here is giving us the information that the product is Logitech wireless keyboard. We can use same for the code also. The stock group is hardware. If you remember how we are putting the item group, that time we have accessories and others. So this one under the hardware, as in our example here. Product reorder quantity is same as the quantity order stated in the purchase order. Here is a purchase order. The quantity is 15. They are mentioning here the product reorder quantity is same, so it means 15. This is our reorder quantity. We have to put it 15. Also, the product selling price is for each one piece is 120. So here we have, this is the reference price is 120. Okay, and here, if you notice from our purchase order, they are mentioning that the price we are typing in our purchase order is 80. Normally, this is our reference price. So is our reference cost. Again, if you see, this is the item which we are trying to add now, which is a Logitech keyboard. And it's now we are ordering 15, and here in this information they mentioned that the reorder amount is 15. It's similar to the one which are ordering. They give us the selling price to write it in our system, which is 120. If you remember earlier, we learned that the reference cost is normally the price we are buying from our supplier. Here they didn't mention it, but in our purchase order, the price is 80, so we can add it here in the system. Okay, so we just already put these things. We need to save. So now this item is already added in our system. I want just to modify something. Here the item code is written, so we don't use the same item name. We use this item code which we have it here. How to do? You just press edit and you type the item code in its place, then you put save. Do you want to change it? There are transactions associated with the item Logitech wireless keyboard. Do you want to change it? Yes. Okay. So we just we save the item. So I want just to mention again what are the steps I was doing. This is the purchase order we need to do, but they mentioned to us here that this keyboard is a new item. We didn't add it to the system earlier, so we need to add it now. So this keyboard is new product. This is the code of it is Logitech keyboard. And the name is Logitech wireless keyboard. This is the description of it. They give us is under hardware. This is the item group. The reference, the reorder quantity they said is same as is written in our purchase order, so it's 15. They give us the selling price per piece is 120. Okay, and also for our cost reference, we as same as it will be shown in our purchase order, which is 80. Okay, so we put this information, and I also show you in case you write any information wrong, you just press edit, you try to modify, then you press save. So again, now we need to go to do our second purchase order, which is purchase order. This is the first one which we have done. Then we need to put new. Never put edit. If you will put edit, you're gonna to modify in the first purchase order, so be careful. We put in new. We need to choose a supplier. Our supplier is Lian Huad. This is the Lian. Again, you will notice that the information is auto-generated. Don't modify in the purchase order number. It will be auto-generated. Date is 8 February 2017. Is February 2017, and we have what are the items? We just put plus, if you remember. What is the item code? We have Logitech mouse. We can just find it. We don't need to copy actually. This is the mouse. How many? The quantity is 3 pieces. The price is similar as what we have here. We have the price 50. Actually, it should be I think we recorded in the system already 50. So as here written, okay, here is for per carton, sorry, not per piece. Okay, so we need to choose not the unit, we need to choose the carton. This one also keep it in your mind. Okay, if you notice when I just put, I see here 50, but the price is here 500, so I forget to look on the unit. If you remember, when we add this item to our system, we put two units, unit of measurement. We put the unit, which is the one piece, and we put the carton. So we need to choose here the carton. You see how it modifies the price directly. So we are requesting 3 cartons, not 3 pieces. So it's 500. The second item, we put the plus. The second item is a keyboard. If you put here, you can find the keyboard is already added. How many pieces? 15. 15 units actually. And the price is 80, is auto-generated. And you will find directly the tax is calculated and everything, it's auto-generated. Then we put save. Okay, after we press save, then we need to go to our third purchase order, which is from New York Mart Co. Ltd. If you remember, the supplier is our overseas supplier, so we have like US currency with him. So the unit price here are mentioned are in the US currency. So let's create a new, let's choose the supplier is New York Mart. This information will be auto-generated. Let's put the date, 8 February 2017. So February 8, 2017. Then we need to add the items. First item, we have the printer. Here you will see the price. This is in our currency, but in the US currency is 70. So we need to put 70. Then we need the second, which is Logitech mouse. Logitech mouse. Okay, we need here, sorry, for first one we need 6 units. Second one we need 9 units. No, second one we need 9 units. This one it will be $12 in the customer currency, the supplier currency. Then on-site charge. On-site charges, we need to have 1 unit in price of 25. You need to keep in your mind that here they give you the currency rate, which is 4.3. This one is for our records now. So we remember that the time we replace this purchase order, the price was 4.3 for the currency. So we just save. Okay, then we put browse. Here we can browse how those transactions, how those purchase order have been written. Okay, so we have this is the purchase orders we have created. Okay, so this is our first task of the lesson number 3 has been done, which is creating purchase order. Then in the second and third video of this lesson, we're gonna to learn how to create the other 2 parts of this lesson, which is purchase goods received and purchase invoice. So see you in later videos. Bye bye.